We got the two-time national champ, starting QB in here today, Carson Beck. We outside. Plus we going up.
All right, man, I'm excited to do this interview. I got this question though. You doing an interview in them shoes, man? Is this what we doing on Footballville?
Man, I do anything in these shoes. Let me tell you about these shoes. I don't know if they're shoes. I don't know if they're house shoes. I don't know what they are.
I sure don't know what they are.
But they got a cushion inside of here, man. It's the most comfortable shoe I've ever worn, bro. I put them on with a suit. I go to a prom, a gala or something with them on, bro.
Do I need to get a pair of these? Is this what you're telling me?
Yeah, if you got the balls to walk around with them on.
Yeah.
All right, man. Footballville podcast. We outside. We sitting here, man, with national champion Carson Beck. How many national championship rings you got, Carson?
We got 2 national championships.
You got 2?
Mm-hmm.
Carson is actually from Florida. Right?
Mm-hmm.
From Jacksonville area?
Jacksonville.
Duval?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. We go back to high school. Your junior year, you guys were really good.
Mm-hmm.
And you went to state, and you defeated who in state?
Columbus.
Columbus?
Yep.
You remember any of the guys that played on the Columbus team?
Xavier Henderson, I know.
Yeah.
I think just left Florida, actually.
Yeah, I think he's in the transfer portal.
There.
Waffle. Yeah.
3 touchdowns on our head.
Did he?
Wow.
Yeah.
He went stupid in that game.
Close game?
Yeah, I think we won by 2.
Yeah.
It was the final score, yeah.
No, that was a good team from down here. That team, your 11th grade year, you guys were really good.
Mm-hmm.
But your senior year, we were talking before, you were saying that it wasn't as good of a team. What's your 11th grade team about? Maybe older team?
Yeah, I mean, we were all seniors. Everyone left. So, really the first 3-4 games of my senior year was us trying to, figure it out.
Yeah.
You know? We weren't really meshing on defense, offense, anything. And we were going downhill. And eventually we hit that kind of halfway mark and we started to pick it up and then ended up going undefeated throughout the rest of the season and then made the playoffs. And then we played, Seminole, I think, in the first round of the playoffs and got smoked. It was raining. We couldn't run the ball. They stacked the box. They were like, go ahead, throw it. And we couldn't, we literally drop balls everywhere. I mean, defense, we just couldn't compete with them. I mean, they were just a better team than us. And yeah, we got sent out early my senior year. So
yeah.
I bet there were a lot of teams pissed at you that senior year. So you got everyone's best game for sure.
For sure.
Yeah. That senior year though, you got to play against one of your teammates, right?
Mm-hmm.
Actually your wide receiver now, Marcus Rosemont, right?
Mm-hmm.
At St. Thomas. If you ever throw that in your face every now and then and be like, man, we thought y'all had something. We came up there.
Nah, we don't talk about it much.
No.
I think he knows that their team was far superior to us.
Yeah, they're far superior than a lot of teams.
Yeah, they were pretty good.
Chad got some of that St. Thomas.
I know a few guys. I know a few guys.
Got some of that St. Thomas.
But never lost to St. Thomas. Never played St. Thomas now.
Never lost to St. Thomas?
I feel pretty good that if we would have played St. Thomas any one of those last 2 years, we would have got the W.
Oh.
I'm saying it right now.
Chad coached Pastor Tane. Who you had on your team, Chad? Pastor Tane.
My second to last year, we had Marco. We had Marco Wilson. We had Pastor Tane, Tyson Campbell. I would bring Anthony Schwartz.
So he was,
scoring points was going to be a problem.
They were loaded, Carl.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
Yeah, no, they were loaded.
That's kind of how we were moving, but
yeah.
So the recruiting process, was it crazy for you? So now you're being recruited. Your team isn't as good, but you're finna go to college. You're gonna make a decision, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think for the most part it was pretty chill, and I guess I credit that to being committed somewhere my whole entire high school.
Mm-hmm.
There was months in between if 1 month or 2 months where I wasn't committed, where it was crazy and everyone's calling,
right?
And everyone's come visit.
Right.
But I mean, there was a select few schools that I had in mind that I really was interested in. So I guess that also kind of exited out any other teams and made it a little bit smoother as the process went through.
You knew these teams early? At what point in your...
I mean, when I was young, freshman in high school, before anything ever blew up, I'd say the teams that obviously I wanted to play in the SEC.
Sure.
Or like Clemson or Ohio State.
Can't blame you, all the big boys.
You know, like obviously that's everybody's dream. So
Right.
like then when it actually starts to like come and they start calling, like, I mean, you have the choice at the end of the day. So
Right. You committed at what point?
So I'll kind of run you through that as fast as possible. But so I used to play baseball. I committed to Florida for baseball.
Okay.
My freshman year of high school. That was short lived. As my sophomore year is like my first year that I started and played, and Alabama ended up offering me after that sophomore season. So I was like, yeah, we're not going to play baseball. We're going to play football.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so then committed to Alabama, was with them for about a year and a half or so. And then, I don't know, there's something like clicked. And I just decided, I was like, you know what? Like, I still love Alabama. I still want to go there. Like, it's not like a definite no. So I decommitted and reopened because I thought I made my decision a little bit too early. And that's when it really got crazy, was when I reopened from Alabama, because we had just had that junior season. Everything was starting to pick up. So all these coaches started calling. And then at last, Kirby called. And I don't know what it was, but it just felt perfect. You know, I visited there, talked with my dad. I was like, yeah, this is where I'm going to go. And no one's going to change my mind about that. So
Kirby's got good lyrics, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Kirby got game.
So then I committed to Georgia, and that was final from there.
So from your 11th grade, 12th grade, you was committed to Georgia.
Yep.
You committed before your senior year?
Yes.
Okay, gotcha.
Wow. I mean, so you took a visit. Who you say you went with, your dad? Yeah. And you sat down, you saw the facilities and everything, and you just knew it was this is what we're gonna do. And this was before the national championships, right? Kirby was just had to be kind of just getting there, right?
Yep.
Yeah, but you could feel it, huh? Listen, let's go back a little bit. I once watched a young kid grow up as a quarterback, and he had a trainer used to fly in and things of that nature. And I saw how hard it was to get the mechanics down when somebody was really trying to train a quarterback. What was your process growing up? Like, how did you get all of the mechanics down and everything?
Well, like I said, like I played baseball too. So like I didn't even really start focusing on football like for real until my like sophomore season, whenever like all that started. That's like after the offers and everything. Like
Really?
So I'd go from baseball like throwing motion to football throwing motion, and it'd get like a little messed up and it'd look a little weird, you know. But nonetheless, like I could throw a football and complete it, and we could, you know, move the ball down the field, win games. But after that sophomore season, I met Denny Thompson, who's up in Jacksonville. We started to get the work and start tackling some of the issues that I had like within my throwing motion. And you can see like year to year how like it like evolves and develops into what it is now. So now I would say like what I have now is like ideal for me. You know, everybody's throwing motion is going to be a little bit different, but my throwing motion right now is ideal to me. So like certain like feelings and certain ideas and like things that I remember of like, okay, my elbow needs to like feel like this, my hip needs to feel like this. And that's all stuff you like attack in the off season. So then when you go out on the field, it's just second nature.
Yeah.
Why was it so easy for you to push baseball aside once football, you know, scholarship offers started coming?
I don't know if it was, to be honest. It definitely was a hard decision, but it felt like the right one. And that's like something that I feel like I've always tried to do like throughout my life, is like whatever decision I make is going to be the right one, you know, like, and like firmly believe that. Because if I don't believe that it's going to be the right decision, then it's probably not going to end up.
Sure.
Yeah.
So,
Sure.
Even when you're in
that's
practice,
a lesson for everyone.
Like running from Michael for your life, you still feel like you made the right decision because there's no,
Well, I wouldn't obviously I want to play against the best, you know, and I get to do that every day in practice. Like that's only going to make me better.
Right.
You know?
So going into Georgia, was Kirby telling you, hey, listen, you come in, you gonna have a chance to compete? Like what was he telling you?
Well, I mean, obviously, like when you're in high school, like it's a recruiting, like they're recruiting you, like they want you out, you know, they want you out their school. I was not ready to compete or play in any way, shape, or form as an 18-year-old.
No.
I was not even close to ready. But I mean, obviously that's always the pitch. So I'm like, oh yeah, I'm buying it. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna go in there. No, you're not. I wish I could go back and tell me then, like, look.
Would you have listened?
Probably not. No.
Yeah.
I mean, you feel like Superman in high school,
Yeah.
especially if you won a state championship.
I did.
Look at the camera and tell those young kids that think they ready. It's a process.
It's definitely a process. And I think, I mean, a lot of it depends on who you are and, you know, how you were brought up and, you know, are you ready, like physically, mentally for that? Because it's a change, you know, it's different and the speed is different and the knowledge that you have to have is different, but that's part of it. You know, some people are going to go in there as a true freshman and ball, but that just wasn't my path, you know, and I'm okay with that.
Right.
I want to touch on something that you brought up about the baseball motion and the you know, the throwing the ball as a baseball player and how the mechanics had to get changed. When you see someone like an Anthony Richardson who got picked high yesterday, I mean this weekend in the draft, and he has mechanics issues and stuff that he needs to fix. Aside from all of the, you know, great attributes that he has, how difficult is it to fix the throwing mechanics and the footwork to make yourself a competent passer? Is that difficult?
Yeah, I definitely think it's difficult. And like the reason it's so difficult is not like changing the mechanic. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like changing your mechanics is easy, but finding like what works for you is the hardest part. Because like, do you need, like some guys need to be a little longer, you know, to get some more power on passes. For me, like if I'm long, like I'm only going to be throwing like heaters, you know? So I try to keep it like short, compact, because I'm like a longer, bigger guy. So I try to keep it short, compact, where I'm just using my lower body, hips and trying to be accurate more than like really trying to get heat on the ball. But I'd say that's the biggest thing, is not changing the mechanics, but finding what's right for you.
What's comfortable for you. Yeah, that's more important.
Yeah.
All right. So you get on a plane, you fly into Athens, and you get there in the quarterback room. And how many guys are there in front of you?
We had, that's right when COVID had hit, right in 2020. It was me, JT had just transferred in, Jamie Newman had just transferred in, and then Stetson was there and DeJuan was there, and that was the craziest year. Like,
why you call it crazy?
Just a total, like everybody in that quarterback room was just totally different. Like we didn't like, I'd say now with our quarterback room, going off topic a little bit, but like we're very like well connected and we all get along, and like, but like back then, and it might have just been because I was a freshman, I was young, I didn't really you know, talk, but it was a lot of different characters in that quarterback room.
It was friction, would you say?
Not friction,
it was just
per se, but like definitely like a little something. I don't know what the word would be, but it was definitely crazy. And obviously just with COVID and like having to be home, like we were getting in Zoom meetings, like while I'm sitting in Jacksonville and wherever they are in the country, you know, we're getting on Zoom meetings talking about this play and how the offense is going to be run. And because Monken just got hired that year, that was his first year. So it was definitely just an interesting situation overall.
Really?
All of you guys played that year, am I correct? Did everyone play in a game that year?
Yeah.
That's interesting too.
I really didn't, but I got some scrap time. But I mean, I think I played against Missouri and it was like 25 degrees outside. And because we were up there in Missouri late. Yeah. And I go in and I'm like, I've been sitting on the sidelines the whole game. I'm shivering. I'm 18. I'm shivering, like cold. Yeah. And I get in the huddle and I like can barely even say the play because my teeth are chattering.
Oh my goodness.
I get under center. I'm still shivering. I'm like, just get the snap and I got the ball off. Like,
wow.
Don't.
Was it a running play?
Yeah. Yeah. We just ran the ball.
Yeah. And what were your nerves like going in there?
So nervous. I think being that cold, you know, kind of took away the nervousness. Yeah. But I mean, like I said earlier, like I wasn't ready yet to like have that like spotlight and shine of like being the quarterback.
But that's when you guys had some beast backs, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. That wasn't Gurley, no. That was
we had Zamir, Cook.
Yeah.
Who else? I think those were the two at the time.
It's that year. Get us here.
Yeah.
Zamir, Cook, and maybe Holyfield was in there somewhere at some point.
He left in 19 the year before that. Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, all you had to do was hand the ball off. Actually, to be honest with you, you didn't really have to drop back and do too much of nothing. So that's 2020, right? 2020. Then you come back the next year, and who you got in the room? You look more comfortable now. So
it was me, JT, Stetson, and Brock. Brock had just come in, and then JT had taken over at the end of the season. And that's like when we played Cincinnati in the Peach Bowl, whatever. And then he was like set starter, whatever. And yeah, so that's who was in the room.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So now you're a little more mature,
Mm-hmm.
and you kind of understand what's going on. At that point, did you feel you were ready to play? What were you thinking at that point?
At that time, I was like, okay, like I'm ready to go now. Like especially after the season, and then I grinded during the spring. Like I bought in, I did well in school. Like workouts went really well. Like totally changed my physique, athleticism. Football wise, studied so much film, studied the offense, like understood the ins and outs, tried to pick JT's brain apart, like, and try to understand how he viewed things. Cause I'd say that's one of the smartest quarterbacks I've ever been around.
JT?
Yep.
Yeah.
And, so learning from him, at the time was like super important, especially during the spring. But like coming out of that spring, I was like on top of the world. I was like, okay, like I'm in a much better situation now. Like I'm probably ready to go. Like which I was very wrong.
When you say smart, is it a smart thing? Like, oh yeah, he's naturally smart, or is it like an experience thing? Now that you're the guy,
I think it has a lot to do with both, like experience and just like a smart thing, because as experience obviously generates confidence, and when you have confidence, like things go faster and your processing goes faster and everything kind of just meshes better, if that makes sense. But it's definitely a little bit of both, I think.
So Stetson Bennett, you mentioned all these names, and Stetson does he just like come out of nowhere? Or did you kind of see this happening?
Well, I always like knew with Stetson, like that he was talented and that he had a strong, like people, bash on him for not having a strong arm. Like I've seen the guy throw the ball 70 yards, like with ease, like, wow. He has a strong arm. And like, I think a lot of people have like seen that now, especially like with his like combine performance and seeing him in pro day and whatever, like he can throw a football, and it's so weird to me, but I always knew that he was talented and the athleticism was there. But yeah, like that year, whenever JT got hurt and then like he stepped in, I thought it was going to be me at the time, but I just, like I said, I wasn't ready, and as much as I thought I was ready, like I was so mad, like so mad. And I think any player would be like in that situation, but looking back on it now, like, and like understanding what happened, like he had the experience part that I didn't have,
right?
And he's talented enough to get it done. He's very talented, and I mean, he just got drafted. I mean, which is dope.
We saw his body of work.
Super happy for him. And so that ended up happening, and I just wasn't ready yet. So then going through that sophomore season, it was tough because like in my head at the time, I'm like, damn, like it should be me, which is like anybody that's sitting on the bench. What's going to say that?
Right.
And, but now like looking back at it, it's like, I'm so happy that I didn't play that year because I wasn't there yet.
Yeah.
As far as like, I think football wise, like I was there yet, but mentally and like life wise, like outside of football, like handling the criticism from everybody or handling being in like the spotlight, like I was way too immature for that. Like I was still too young. And I think that's also part of it too, especially as a quarterback.
Yeah.
That's interesting you bring that up.
That is, man, because I was going to ask you, I've heard you say twice that you weren't ready. And we're just thinking, maybe physically you weren't big enough, or maybe you didn't understand the plays or reading defenses. But that's a great part that he brings up, because that's a big part of you guys now. This social media, you're going to get instant feedback. You get into the locker room after a bad game and open your phone, and you just got a lot of bad stuff there waiting for you. So that's good that you brought that
Chad
up.
and they've had the bouts with the fans too.
Yeah. I mean, my son threw a shoe in a game. Yeah. So I know all about that.
I remember that.
Yeah. Everybody remembers that. Yeah, they had their bouts. So no, that is interesting. You bring that up. That's awesome, because that's the part that you don't realize. It can hit you and you didn't realize. Oh, this is going to affect my game. Like these guys ain't even in the defensive backfield. Yeah. People on Twitter talking about me. So Stetson, there's doubts about him, and then he wins the national championship. Comes back, wins it again, and now he's everybody's darling. Right. We're gonna speed up a little bit and. now he's gone. He's going to the draft. You guys come back in spring. Kirby sits you guys down and say, what? It's a quarterback battle? Like, listen, we're going to see the best man win?
I mean, yeah. I mean, that's like the talk. Obviously, like going into it, anybody's going to be like, well, it's my job, you know, and I have to think that way, which, I mean, I'm going to keep working and hopefully, I mean, that's what's going to end up coming out of it. Obviously that like nothing has been said as far as that goes, but you know, I was just going to take it one step at a time. So going into January, I was going to lead during workouts. I was going to assume that role and position and just be myself through it all. Like not be someone that I'm not. I think that's the most important thing as well, is not trying to be someone else. Like just be you at the end of the day, especially as a quarterback. Go through winter workouts, do my thing, and then head into spring football and just try to take over, you know, and be who I am. Don't try to do too much, because I feel like in quarterback battles a lot of the time, like you try to do too much. Like you think like, oh, I got to make the big throw every time. Like I got to make the big play. Like, nah, you just got to get first downs and score. Like it's really that simple at the end of the day. As challenging and complex as football is sometimes, like you got to like dumb it down a little bit and simplify it for yourself. And I think that also gives you confidence in other areas. But yeah, I mean, that's really the whole saying about it.
So, I mean, big time quarterback, you've been sitting down for 2 years. Your third year is coming up. Were you frustrated? Because we got the transfer portal. It's there. You just walk to the office, sign the paper, and you're in the portal.
Yeah, quarterbacks don't really sit around anymore.
I think ESPN, I don't know. So what's going through your mind? I mean, I
kind of like touched on it a little bit earlier, but like, yes, obviously, I mean, you're going to be frustrated in that situation. Like you start to get impatient. Things aren't going exactly the way that you planned them, you know, like going in to Georgia, I was like, I'm going to start my first year. Like I'm going to, you know what I'm saying? Like all this stuff, but you know, all these thoughts and I like plans that you had get totally switched up on you. And it's like, it's a surprise, you know, but yes, like I was frustrated. And going into that third year after Stetson had just won the national championship, like coming back, like he's going to start again. Like they're not, there's literally nothing I could do. Like I think I could be, I don't know, name your best college quarterback that you've ever seen play ever. Right. And like, I could go do that in the spring and fall camp. And I don't think I would have started anyways. Yeah.
I'm just going to ask you that because in practice, what is it? Are you competing? Is it like close?
I mean, I was just going out there trying to learn and do what I could in that situation. Cause I knew, obviously I knew, Kirby's like, whatever, saying like his spiel and all that. But I knew that I wasn't going to start. Like I knew it, and I definitely could have gone. You know, like I could have went somewhere else. And there was a lot of schools who did reach out to me, and I did consider it at a time. Like I was because I was frustrated. Like I was mad that, you know, things didn't go my way. But also at the same time, what we have at Georgia and the pieces around you as a quarterback, like it's instrumental to your success. You know, I'm nothing without a good offensive line. You know, I'm nothing without good wide receivers that can make plays and get open, and running backs who you can comfortably turn your back to the defense, hand it off, and they can go take a 70. Right. You know, like, and a good defense that's going to help you control the game. Like football is so much more than just like a team. Like it's obvious, like every individual together, you know, and at Georgia, that's what you're going to get. Yeah. And I think that was a huge reason of why I stayed. And not only that, but the mantra that like we go by and the standard of excellence and success. It's things and reasons of why I committed in the first place, you know, like those standards that Coach Smart has set. And they're just getting passed down to every single class that's coming in, and it's only getting stronger and stronger. And it's just about carrying through and just being the best that you can be in every situation, you know? And I don't think anybody works as hard as we do, practices like we do, gets in the weight room like we do, studies film like we do. Like it truly is ridiculous. And we put a lot of time into it. And there's nothing more that I'd rather do, you know?
Yeah. I think it goes back to the maturity that you were able to obtain by staying. Yeah. You did come to realize that you weren't ready. And the part that you weren't ready for was all the criticism. So, you know, all things come in their due time. So sitting behind Stetson and maybe observing him, because he gets criticized.
He's the most criticized person I've ever seen. And I'll touch on that a little bit very quickly. I think that's a very good point, because sitting behind him and watching him and, having conversations with him now after everything and how he handled certain things, I've been able to learn a lot of things from him in that area.
Right.
And I think every quarterback that's came through that I've been with or practiced with or had meetings with, I've been able to take like pieces of their game and add it to me, whether that's as off the field or on the field. So.
Yeah, I mean that's a great part. You would have got none of that had you left.
Exactly.
You'd have gone somewhere else, and the moment you stepped on there, you're thinking about starting. You stayed at Georgia, and you had a chance to watch someone do it, who actually ended up winning a national championship. So, I mean, you have that part of it, which is, I think, a harder part, already downloaded, ready to go when when you're in that spot. So,
yeah. So, has it been the same offense since you've been there?
Yeah. So, I mean, Coach Monken was there for 3 years. He just left. So now we got Coach Bobo.
Yeah.
And obviously every offensive coordinator is going to be different, but for the most part, like very similar terms, very similar in certain play calls and whatnot. Yeah. But like, it's his twist, it's going to be his offense. It's not going to be him running Coach Monken's offense. Right. He's going to run his offense. He's going to do it he wants at the end of the day. But what I do love about Bobo is, the way that he connects to the quarterbacks and how, what's the word I'm looking for? Involved, like we are in like the game plan of things. Before the spring game, like he was talking to me like, well, what do you want on this down and this and this down and this? You know what I'm saying? Like kind of going through and sending me his ideas and what, like, was I in agreement of that? You know, and I could change it up or tell him I really like this play instead of this one, or give them like a top 3 for third downs. Like we're going to go in this order. When we get to third down, you already know what the call is going to be. So like, it's already that like precursor of like, okay, I already know what's going to be called. So I'm even more prepared than I already was in the first place. So that's definitely something that I've loved about Coach Bobo, but the offense has been definitely very similar.
Yeah. That makes you feel involved, huh?
For sure.
I remember we sat down with Corey Harris and he talked about that was his emergence as a junior when the coach would allow him to be involved.
I think you only do that with a guy you trust and someone you feel confident about. So, I mean, that says a lot about you that as a guy who's coached, if I'm not confident about a guy, you're not involved in the game plan. You're going to do what I tell you to do. But then when you get guys like, we talked about some of the guys that I coach. I was like that with them.
Yeah.
What do you guys feel comfortable with? What do you think we should go out here and do? I'll do that in game. What are you guys seeing out there? Should we call more of this rather than that? So that's a testament to you and the maturity that you've, been able to obtain. And you see something good in you to involve you in the game plan. I mean, this is an experienced coach. So,
So sitting now, you got a chance to compete to the start and basically you're finna get the keys. What was the value of sitting now? Now you look back at you 3 years ago. What do you see the value in it? And did you get anything out of it? Talk to us.
I mean, I've kind of said it a few times, like through every year, like that I wasn't ready to go, whether it was like the first year where I just wasn't ready. And overall, like as a quarterback, as a person, as like the mental side of the game, whatever you want to call it, to like the next year, like getting better at the physical part, but still the mental part was lacking, to the third year where I think I finally, put it together. And I still think that there's always things that I can get better at and work on, but overall, like sitting and waiting made me who I am today, and the way that I try to carry myself and, the quarterback that I try to be whenever I'm out on the field is a result of waiting and being patient those 3 years. So, and obviously I'm fired up and excited for what could be, and what can happen this year and the future. Cause it's definitely been eating at me for a long time. I'm definitely ready. I'm ready to get out on the field. I'm very anxious about it. Very excited as well. So,
yeah.
Carson, I'm a defensive guy. So, I want to know what it's like for you going against Coach Boom's defense. When you guys get off on him, is he that guy that we seen the clips that punched a hole in the, in the grease board at halftime when he was at Texas? Or what, what's that been like for you? And then how easy is it for you now, when you go in a game after you've went against that kind of
I mean, going against our defense, they're so multiple and so I mean, they just do so many different things, especially on third down. Like it's ridiculous. All the things that we've seen, like every blitz you could ever see, every coverage, every pressure, like literally everything that you could possibly see from a defense, our defense does. And obviously the game plan switches from team to team. And I think that's why we're so versatile. And beyond that, the players too, because the players make the defense, it's not the calls. The players make the defense. And those guys they're the best in the country. I don't think there's a better defense.
At Philadelphia Eagles definitely think so.
At every position. At every position, I mean, those guys are elite at what they do, and being able to go against them every single day overall makes the offense better. And I think it goes back and forth too. I think our defense gets better because of our offense as well.
Right.
Sure,
but going against them, definitely I think has prepared me well. I mean, I've been going against them for 3 years every single day in practice.
Right.
And now, like, once I get the opportunity to go into a game, I'll be on the field against a whole nother opponent. And I think that brings a whole nother level of, competitiveness and that aspect as well. But having the practice against our defense and then going out on the field against another defense, I think it'll have me prepared and, ready to go.
Yeah. 8 or 9 games will be a breeze. I mean, I played at Miami in the heyday, and I was better than anyone I lined up against, except maybe when we got to Florida State or something like that. The rest of the time, I saw someone better all week long. So that's kind of your situation, I presume. Yeah.
So listen, whether y'all want to believe it or not, I used to be a rapper. I used to rap, right?
We need clips of this. Somehow I don't feel like he just gets to say that.
Rap. I used to rap, dog. Don't make me start spitting. And when you would write a verse, you would go in the booth, right? And you would say the verse. And you would say it over and over again. And then you get comfortable saying it, right? And then you get it. And then if you would say it 20 more, 30 more times, all of a sudden the beat will slow down for you. And it's almost like you could play within the beat because you know the words by heart. You know what I'm saying? And the beat sounds slower. Has the game slowed down for you because you've been sitting and repping?
I think every year that goes past, and I mean, obviously the game never gets slower in reality, but like you are more prepared in a sense. And when you're that prepared and you understand what's going on, like you already know when things are going to happen. So you just trust yourself. You trust yourself more. I think that's the biggest thing. Like the game slowing down is you having more confidence and trust in your ability and what you can do. And you just see things. And when you see things over and over again, you know what's going to happen before it happens.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely it has slowed down.
It has slowed down for you. And and I think that's a lot of things in life too, man. If you can just be patient. Patient. Patience is something a lot of has to be taught. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people.
And it's really hard in like today's world because we have phones, we have social media. You can call someone across the world and answer right now and talk to them right now. Like it's everything's so fast. Everyone wants to live so fast. Like sometimes you just got to take a step back and understand that if you really want something, you might have to wait for it.
No, that's not. That's a good one.
What was your most difficult moment at Georgia in 3 years?
Probably my sophomore season, to be honest. I kind of touched on it a little bit, but, thinking like that I was, going to end up playing and I did not.
When did that become obvious? Like, all right, this isn't going to happen for me.
Well, we played against UAB the second game of the season, and I was shell shocked. Like I was just not ready, the whole week and the whole situation. I won't really talk about it too much. I have things to say about it, but
save that for the book.
But obviously that week, and I got the chance to play in the game, like opportunity, but I was not in the right headspace mentally. I was not locked in on the game at all. Like when I went in, I was not confident at all. Like I just felt like I didn't know how to play quarterback. And just based off of everything, just based off of everything that had happened. And that's when I knew. I was like, well, I totally just missed that opportunity. But like I said, looking back on it now, like I'm glad that I wasn't shoved into that moment, because if I was, who knows what would have came out of it.
Yeah.
6'6", 336 pounds. Jordan Davis ever hit you in practice?
No.
No?
But I'm
You would
really
have had
glad.
to transfer. You can't be hitting the quarterbacks like that, man.
I'm really glad that you didn't. That is a monstrous human being.
Yeah, bro. He chase you like he to be so big and so fast.
So fast. Ridiculous.
Right. And that's what you're going up against in practice every day.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So we driving to the spring game, man, and we all hoping you have a great game out there today. We like, man, but he got to play against Georgia defense. And they send you out there, bro. You first drive, and you were so comfortable. It looked easy. It looked easy to you. How did you feel out there?
Confident.
Yeah.
Like you said, comfortable. I mean, at this point in my career and being at Georgia, like all the plays are like second nature to me at this point, you know. And that doesn't mean that I can just stop. No, you know, like I still need to study and write stuff down and try to learn and to like even just get like 0.5% better at whether it's a drop or a play. But as I'm kind of going off topic, but like within in the spring game and that like whatever starting on the first drive, like I just went out there and was like, I'm just gonna have fun. You know what? Like I'm not worried about anything else besides going out and executing every single play individually. Like if I throw incompletion, we're looking to the sideline, we're getting the next play. And now that process is starting of what do I have to do? If it's this coverage, I'm here. If it's this coverage, I'm here. And now I'm analyzing the defense, you know. There's like a step-by-step process that kind of happens after each play and throughout each play. That's kind of unconscious now at that point. Like I feel like when you're younger, you kind of think about, okay, I need to get to play and then I need to think about this and this. And now it kind of just happens simultaneously. But I definitely felt comfortable and confident whenever I stepped out there and was just trying to have fun. I mean, at the end of the day, like it's a glorified scrimmage. Like that's all it is. It's a glorified scrimmage that people get to come watch. And it's nothing more than that. Like, and if you try to make it more than what it is, that's when nerves start to hit and other things like could possibly pop up and you start to make mistakes. Yeah. So, I mean, that's really what that.
Well, you following back-to-back national championships. How much pressure do you feel to continue that?
Honestly, none. To be completely I like there is a ton of pressure, you know, like whatever ends up happening, if that is me in the spot, there's tons of pressure because the guy that did it before, you know, did win 2 national championships and had an unbelievable career. But like that's out of my control what he did, you know. The only thing I can control is going into practice on Monday, making sure I do that. And then Tuesday and then Wednesday, you know, and day by day and focus on each opponent individually and just get first downs and score touchdowns. You know, that's all I can focus on. Because if I start to think about, oh, well, I have to be this. No, I just got to be myself, you know, and at the end of the day, that's all you got to do as a football player is just be you. And, you know, if things work out, it works out. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But, you know, I have confidence in my ability. And I think if I just be myself, it'll work. Yeah.
So after the spring game, what was the kind of talk out there? We were kind of waiting for you to come out, and you like never came out. Like, where they just hide you in the locker room? What?
I had to do. I've never done media actually before.
Oh, really?
So that was like the first time I did media. Or second time. I did it once like earlier in the spring, but I had media, and so like they're like, "Come on, Carson, blah blah blah." I was like, "Where are we going?" They're like, "We're going to take you over to the other side of the stadium." I was like, "What the heck? Like, what is going on?" I'm like flustered, like I'm stressing. I'm like, "Oh gosh, now I got to go talk to the media."
Right.
I'm like, "Damn, they're going to ask me all these questions." And then so they hopped me on the cart, and we took off to the other side. And then I sat there for like 20, 25 minutes answering questions of everybody, like all in my face, lights.
For the first time.
Yeah. First time. It was kind of dope.
It was kind of dope.
Yeah, I don't mind like doing media and all that. Like, I think it's good for me, you know, to let people, you know, see me and answer questions and understand my thought process and who I am. You know, I think that's very important to me.
Well, listen, I think it's safe to say that Kirby has given you the keys to the Lamborghini, right? Does it feel like you thought it would feel? Like how does it feel? Like responsibility? Like tell us the emotion before we
It definitely feels good, you know, especially after waiting so long. You know, it all goes back to being patient, and when the moment's right, like everything will click, you know, but it definitely feels good to be, you know, in the position that I'm in right now. But at the same time, like as I feel good, like I try to not let myself get comfortable, because when I get comfortable, things get bad. You know what I'm saying?
That's a
Like
good one.
you got to be comfortable with being uncomfortable. So constantly putting myself in situations where I'm uncomfortable and I feel like, you know, maybe someone's like trying to push me a different way or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like it's every different situations you can put yourself in, but trying to be uncomfortable to where I'm trying to get out of that all the time only is going to push me and make me better. I don't know if that makes sense, but
No, it does.
Yeah.
No, it does make sense. If you are comfortable, you're probably not growing. I mean, I think that's kind of how life is. But listen, bro, definitely excited to watch you play this year.
Likewise.
Yeah. And that's a lesson that's a great lesson in life you just learned. Waiting and being loyal and now you see what came from it. We'll definitely be in Athens this year watching you play, man. Appreciate having you here, all right?
Absolutely. Appreciate y'all.
Make sure y'all subscribe, share. We outside. Footballville, man. We out of here.